The views and opinions expressed by the host of this show are his and his alone. They do not reflect the views of this network, his employer, any of the universities he attended, his family and friends or former roommates, any of the 5 Temptations, the 4 Tops, or any number of the Pips. They may or may not reflect the views of the other voices in his head. His dog, however, agrees with him 100%. And now, broadcasting live from a secure, undisclosed location deep in the heart of Texas, it's the Snarky Parenthetical. Here's your host. He's highly caffeinated and mildly irritated. Here's Lathan Watts.
All right. Welcome back to the Snarky Parenthetical. Good to be back. We took maybe a little bit longer time off than we anticipated.
I'll accept 51% of the blame.
Yeah, at
by
least.
The way. Just
at
for
least. Yeah. It's all Stan the Man's fault. That's his weak immune system.
Great times.
Yeah,
great
exactly.
Times.
What you need is like one of those, I was about to say a product, and then I realized, no, I'm not going to advertise the product because they don't actually sponsor the show.
Okay. Well, then, whatever that product was, we endorsed the generic version of it.
Yeah. No, so we had decided to take a couple of weeks off, at the end of the year, and then Stan got all sorts of
guess what, guys?
And viruses and
apparently, regular flu is still a thing.
Apparently.
PSA.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's not just COVID out there,
mm-hmm.
and all the various Omicrons and Megatrons.
I still blame the Chinese.
We'll blame them for regular flu too. I'm fine with that.
I mean, they're clearly targeting us.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah.
So just think of it this way: like, I've already broken my New Year's resolution the same way you've already probably broken your New Year's resolution.
Yep.
Mine was to try to be more consistent with this. And here we are.
And mine was to be in the gym a little more often. And
right. And here we are, end of January. Resolution's already broken.
Yep.
That's funny that you say the gym because I can tell you, I'm not by any means, like the ideal physical specimen, but I go to the gym fairly consistently because I want to eat what I want. Okay?
Exactly.
I'm doing everything I can to keep this metabolism going.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
And the worst time of the year in the gym is like the first 2 to 3 weeks of January.
Always.
Oh my Lord.
Always.
All the New Year's resolutions people showing up for like 2 weeks. I'm just like, Lord, please, can we get to February so these people will go away?
Yes. Because they're always spending way too much time on the machines. They have no idea how anything works.
No.
But they have those inflated opinions of themselves where they're not actually going to ask. They're just going to spend 10 minutes kind of looking around and doing it 5 times wrong before they figure out how it actually, Always a fun
and it's
circus.
like, obviously, look at me. Like I said, like I'm not a bodybuilder, right? But I know what I'm there to do.
Right.
And there's, I've got a routine.
There's a routine, yeah.
I'm good with it. I know what I need. And could you please just get out of my way?
Exactly.
And it's not even like, look, I don't fault you for wanting to, better yourself. I get it. Okay. Mm-hmm. But there's rules to society. Like we're living in a society, Stan, and there are certain things that separate us from the savages, and etiquette in all situations is one of them. And there's gym etiquette too.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay? And so,
sure,
if you're sitting there on a bench or a machine or whatever, mm-hmm. just chatting to your New Year's resolution accountability partner for 20 minutes while I'm standing there kind of looking at you like, you gonna work out today, or are we just changing venues for conversation?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're just hanging out here instead of the bar for a few weeks to make yourself feel better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So all that to say, I have broken my New Year's resolution the way most people have, and I blame Stan for getting sick.
Hey, and I'll accept that because, hey, we're nothing if not self-aware here at the Snarky Parenthetical. We take responsibility.
We model self-awareness here. because God knows nobody else in our culture is. Okay.
Yes.
So all that to say, we're glad to be back. We didn't open the show with Back in Black. Yeah, because I don't want to pay royalties to AC/DC. They got plenty of money.
Right. Yeah, they're doing just fine.
But here we are. We're back at it. Okay.
Yes.
And just word of warning, I can foresee this episode going a little long. Okay. Because it's been a while.
We've got some time to make up for it. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's been a while, like I said, since we're back on. So, several things happen in the news. We typically do a little news and commentary here at the top of the show. So, here's one. Just sort of caught my eye, and I'm sure when you heard about this, you thought, "Oh, I bet Lathan has something to say about this."
And that he did, folks.
You can add chocolate/candy to the ever-growing list of things that woke ideology has ruined.
Oh, here we go. Yep.
M&Ms. It wasn't enough for you people to get involved in sports and everything else that I try to do to distract myself from the nonsense that is everyday life. No,
Yes.
you had to invade the candy jar as well.
Just
M&Ms are going woke. And I know a lot of you were losing a lot of sleep at night over that red M&M on the commercials. He's kind of a bully. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking, I think that red M&M should really kind of evaluate himself and try to be a little bit more supportive of all the other cartoon M&M characters in the commercials.
Honestly, the whole Obama campaign, I was watching those commercials and wondering, where is Michelle Obama?
Right?
To talk about
the anti-bullying.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Melania's thing was anti-bullying too.
That's right.
It's like, how did you miss this?
Yeah.
How did you miss this, Melania?
Right.
Like, there's a red M&M out there being mean to people.
Clearly the most concerning.
Never fear, though. M&Ms have righted the wrong. Here's, I think this is, there's all sorts of news stories about this. I think this one's from Yahoo News. A woke makeover of the beloved M&M's characters by parent company Mars Incorporated sparked outrage on social media as many consumers are deeming the move, quote, ridiculous. And let me just say, that's an understatement. Mars Incorporated said the fresh and modern rebrand of the 6 iconic characters means M&M's mascots will now represent a more nuanced personality to underscore the importance of self-expression and power of community through storytelling. What in God's name are you talking about?
There are way too many big words in those sentences for this to be about M&Ms.
That, to call that even a sentence is generous. Okay, that's a group of words mangled together with a period at the end, and nobody has any idea what you were talking about.
Yeah.
The sexy green M&M's character has traded in her signature go-go boots for a pair of cool, laid-back sneakers to reflect her effortless confidence, while the orange M&M's character will suffer from anxiety to better reflect young people.
Oh my God.
So I don't know if anybody at Mars Incorporated has considered the fact that these are not real people. They are cartoons.
Yes.
They're animated versions of chocolate that have feet and magical eyebrows that float above the M&M.
Right.
They're not people. Okay?
Right.
They're not actors. They're not playing a role. They are animated versions of chocolate with a thin candy shell.
Yes.
I'm also thinking of, like, I wish David Spade would have popped up in the boardroom and just said, I think your brain's got a thick candy shell on it. Like the Tommy
Perfect
boy.
moment for that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean,
man.
Can you just, is there nothing that you won't let us have? Like, just leave us alone.
Right.
Seriously. Like, you have to infect chocolate. And this is like the lowest rung of chocolate.
Right.
I mean,
that's a good point. Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
We're not even talking, I mean, what is what's the the Lindor.
Yeah,
and
Lindor, Ghirardelli.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
some of the fancy chocolate. Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
don't see those people going woke. First of all, they don't need cartoons to sell their chocolate,
Exactly. I
which
think that's
might
the
be
first,
a thing.
Yeah.
Right. But
Well, and also, who? I don't know. It's like inventing problems that never existed. I don't think that anyone was concerned about the
we really think these,
sexualization of.
yeah, we really think these animated chocolates we got in the commercials might be alienating people. We might need to get a little more responsive to what's going on out there. You sell chocolate
Yeah.
to the most obese country in the world. They practically sell themselves.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Just get out of your own way.
Right.
Like, just shut up and let me ingest chocolate.
If you actually, here's the thing: if you actually wanted to improve the population, you would shutter your doors and stop selling your chocolate, because we are the most obese nation.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're not going to do that. And hey, you shouldn't, because it's our choice to get a little larger than we ought to be if we want to be.
Hey,
So
you do you, right?
Maybe just don't worry about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
meanwhile, M&M's, the names will be less gendered by foregoing prefixes such as Miss and Mr.
Oh,
in an effort to focus on their personalities rather than their gender. You know what? Okay, if you're going to do this, Mars Inc., why don't you just go why are you going halfway?
Right.
Why don't you just go all the way and have some of the M&Ms with nuts start identifying as female?
There it is.
I mean, if we're going down this road,
Right.
like, you've got, I think
That's
it's
the
the yellow
obvious
M&M
solution.
is one of the peanut. Okay, there's an M&M with nuts. Man, maybe he wants to be a girl. If we're going to go woke, then everybody start calling the M&M with nuts a woman.
There you go. Yep. There's that's the built-in solution right there.
I mean, why quit here?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Man. It's just insanity. It's insanity. I don't know anyone. I mean, you know, as a red-blooded male, you as a fellow red-blooded male, I don't know that anyone was you know, really like lusting after the green M&M and her flirty go-go boots.
Right. I didn't even know that was supposed to be like the sexy
No.
M&M.
Yeah.
Right, like, what?
It never occurred to me.
Yeah.
Not for a second. I don't know. I mean, I know there's people with weird, you know, preferences out there, but that's one I'd never encountered. So.
Yeah, I guarantee you, that's what's next, though.
Right. Yeah.
Some degenerate out there is going to try to marry a green M&M.
Right. Yeah, or they'll find the one person that did, and they'll say, "See, this is why we need to stop this." You know.
Yeah. Yeah, but don't worry about that whole slippery slope argument that some of those, you know, backward conservatives were talking about.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Once you start going down this road,
Uh-huh.
well, congratulations, here we are.
Yeah. Almost like you're
Animated
proving our point.
pieces of candy are now somebody's fetish. Gives whole new meaning
What?
to, you know what? It gives whole new meaning to Eddie Murphy's band and Coming to America. Sexual chocolate.
Yes.
Sexual chocolate!
Oh man.
Go back and watch that movie again.
Right?
Right?
A whole new twist on that one.
Yeah.
Man, if he doesn't capitalize on this,
Yeah,
with,
he
with a
absolutely
new
should.
special on this,
That
yeah.
should be, if they really wanted to do a good commercial, they'd have Eddie Murphy in the blue tuxedo and his
Uh-huh.
band up there. Talking, I believe the children are the future. And then have the green M&M come out. Sexual chocolate. Sexual chocolate. Good Lord.
Oh. Wow, just when you think it's gone as far as it can.
Every time, I say this a lot on air and off air, every time I think we as a culture have achieved maximum dumb. Nope. You know the old saying, nope.
Nope. Man. We find a new low every time.
Yeah. So there's that. So just consider that next time you're buying M&Ms.
There you go.
I mean, I remember when, and this is probably dating myself, but I remember when the thing about the green M&M was it made you hit home runs. You might even be too young for this, but they're an old commercial. Kids playing Little League.
It's ringing a bell for
and
something.
They're eating M&Ms, and the kid goes, every time I eat a green M&M, I hit a home run. Like the green M&M used to be the home run. Now, I don't want to get too explicit here when it comes to analogies. I'm not saying that's where M&Ms came up with the idea of the green M&M being the sexy M&M. If you know the baseball analogy I'm referring to. Just saying. So, moving on from something that's not just stupid, but something that's so stupid it's dangerous, which only the American government really fits that bill.
They seem to be good at it, yeah?
Yeah, they do excel. This is, I found this, I guess, Fox News, but I'm sure you'll find it elsewhere also. TSA, one of my favorite government agencies.
Oh, absolutely.
TSA confirms it lets illegal immigrants use arrest warrants as ID to board planes.
No way.
Yeah, just let that sink in for a second.
That can't be real.
The Transportation Security Administration is allowing people to use an arrest warrant with their name on it as ID to get through TSA to get on the plane.
Wow.
Here from the Fox News story, the Transportation Security Administration confirmed to Fox News on Friday that it allows illegal immigrants to use arrest warrants as an alternative form of ID to board planes. Quote, for non-citizens and non-U.S. nationals who do not otherwise have acceptable forms of ID, TSA may also accept certain DHS-issued forms, including ICE Form I-200, which is a warrant for arrest of an alien, that refers to a civil immigration arrest warrant. So they're being arrested for violating immigration law.
Right.
So you got a warrant for violating immigration law. And the TSA is going to allow you to use that warrant as ID to get through TSA to get on a plane. To go where? Oh, I'm guessing anywhere you're fleeing arrest from.
Right. Anywhere the warrant won't catch up with you. Yeah. Wow.
You literally cannot make this up. Only the government could come up with something this dumb. So let me get this straight, TSA. Here's a guy who's in the country illegally. DHS has actually issued a warrant for this person to get them into court, probably start their deportation proceedings, whatever you want to call them. You're going to let him use that as his form of ID to get on a plane to fly somewhere else in America. And I can just see this playing out because I'm on planes a lot for work.
Right.
Yes, sir. Yeah, no, you got an arrest warrant? Yeah, that'll work. Go ahead. Go ahead, sir. Get through the mags quickly, please, because we got this octogenarian in a wheelchair we need to do a cavity search on to make sure she's not a jihadist. Or, God forbid, she's got a 4-ounce tube of toothpaste instead of a 3-ounce.
Oh, no.
We're going to spend probably the next half hour, checking this lady. So, you got an arrest warrant? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. That's good enough. Go ahead. Get on the plane. I don't need to know where you're going or why you're going there.
Is that your name on the warrant? All right, yeah, we're good.
Yeah, that's you. I know it's just a print. I mean, it's just a piece of paper that has a name on it, and you're just telling me that's you. So, no photo ID or anything else to prove that's you. Oh, you got an arrest warrant? Yeah, that's good enough.
So, there's just so many things wrong. I don't even know where to begin. I mean, it's good because many places in the country now, you need a photo ID just to sit down and eat dinner.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to get in, you want to get into this restaurant, by God, you're going to have some sort of vaccination record to show me to even walk in the door.
But you can fly to another state with an arrest warrant. No ID, no...
Yeah, just
that's
show
all
up.
They need.
Hey, I got this thing that says they want to come get me to deport me. So could you let me on that airplane? Sure.
It's so...
What could possibly go wrong?
There's never been a better definition of the term back-asswards.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, if you needed another reason to disband the TSA, well, here you go. Mm-hmm. And let's be clear, you didn't need another reason.
No.
But if you needed one, here you go. I mean, I get why they were formed. Like a lot of things, okay? Mm-hmm. There was a reason in the beginning.
Right.
Served its purpose, now outlived its purpose, and we refused to get rid of it.
Right.
Okay. I get TSA was created just like Homeland Security, everything else after 9/11. Mm-hmm. I get it. Okay.
Yep.
But the 9/11 Commission report, the biggest thing that it came out with was our foreign intelligence gathering operation was not communicating with our domestic law enforcement. So the people in charge of security here didn't know what the guys who were basically spying on, threats abroad.
Right.
They weren't talking to each other.
Right.
Okay. The simple fix is to say, okay, you guys start talking to each other.
Exactly.
Instead, we created an entire new agency of cabinet level agency of government, right? And we create the TSA, and what's one of the first things they did? Unionize them all, make them government employee unions. You cannot tell me that you couldn't privatize TSA tomorrow. That there's not a private security company that can hire people to run a freaking magnetometer at the airports.
Exactly.
We didn't need an entire government agency and a bunch of government union employees to sit there and watch people walk through an X-ray.
Right.
Well,
and there's been tons of studies done that it's having a totally detrimental impact on. I mean, number one, I don't think they've proven that TSA has ever stopped one terrorist attack. Like I should have, if I'd have known I was going to get somewhat serious about this, I would have looked it up. There was a report at one point as to how many TSA employees were on the TSA no-fly list. That's right. That's right.
You guys are doing a bang-up job.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
We can't trust you to vet the people that want to work for you, and you're the people who are going to try to keep the bad guys off the airplanes? They work for you.
Right. Right.
What?
Hold on a second. Yeah. Yeah. How does that even... Well, and then consider just from a practical sense the inefficiency of... I mean, they're making everyone's travel plans 3 times as long as they normally would be. And all the millions, if not billions of dollars spent on equipment, salaries, and, I mean, all of it.
There's not an airport in the country that couldn't hire a private firm to run the mags.
Yeah.
There's just not.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Even if it was local to each,
exactly.
Yeah. It'd make far more sense to me. Yeah.
And then you wouldn't have, genius bureaucrats in D.C. coming up with ideas like, oh, well, they got an arrest warrant with their name on it? That's good enough. Let them on the plane.
I just can't believe.
Can't imagine why this guy wants to get on an airplane.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe because he's fleeing arrest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how is the TSA, if you let a guy on a plane with an arrest warrant who's clearly he's fleeing arrest?
Yeah.
How are you not gonna some enterprising prosecutor who wants a future in politics ought to go arrest a TSA agent for aiding and abetting the fleeing of arrest?
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Yeah.
I mean, if you can track the guy down,
there you go.
I mean, if you can figure out who it was,
mm-hmm.
You let the guy on the airplane.
Uh-huh. That's the way to do it, though. Just that would be the way to highlight the stupidity of it,
demonstrate absurdity by being absurd.
Right.
Like show up and okay, I want to know who let this guy on the plane.
Yep.
Which one of you looked at this arrest warrant and said, good to go, sir?
Yep. Well, now guess what? You're aiding and abetting a criminal, so you're coming with me, and we're gonna.
You have to laugh to keep from crying. I mean, it's like we have the federal government who's in charge with enforcing this law, making it easier for people to avoid consequences of breaking this law.
Right.
It's like I went to sleep and woke up in the movie Idiocracy.
It's all coming true. It really is. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Hard to believe. I mean, in that way, you would almost... you could make a case for we would be safer without the TSA existing at all. Because at the very least, you'd just have the airport doing their own little private security at the airport, where they would at least be demanding some kind of photo ID and not accepting arrest warrants as
yeah
acceptable. You know what I mean?
I will see you and raise you. We'd be safer if you didn't have the mags and you let law-abiding citizens carry guns on the plane.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, and that was the other study. That was the other study. I was man, it was in a YouTube video I saw recently. Went down that wormhole. And
so it must be true.
So obviously, yeah. Well, they said it was some university did the study, you know. So
of
obviously,
course.
I mean, what could go wrong? But
yeah.
But no, I mean, the interesting part of it was they analyzed the American TSA, and a few other countries, and then Israel. Surprise, surprise! Israel has by far the strongest security of anywhere on the globe.
Can't imagine why.
And the only big difference is they discriminate by nationality. They do. And it's like, hey, you know, it may not be politically correct, but it sure works. But no, the real interesting part was...
Because if you look at Israel, they're like the size of a postage stamp in the middle of a football field, and the football field wants to kill them all.
Exactly.
Okay? They don't have time for political correct nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
they have time for
however you felt on September 12th, 2001, where everybody was looking around like, what's coming next? That's every day in Israel.
Exactly.
That's why they don't play around.
Mm-hmm.
And your feelings...
They
don't care.
Exactly. They don't have time to care.
You're offended? Okay. You're also alive.
Yeah. I'll take alive over offended. Yeah.
Alive and offended over dead.
There you go. That's
any day of the week, and twice on Sunday or Saturday if you're in Israel, because that's like their Saturday.
As the case may be.
Yeah. I mean, whatever works for you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's interesting to see because a couple of the countries in that study that were the safest as far as, you know, the lowest number of like criminal cases that you know were connected to travel in the country, had no formal security procedures at all. They just let people do their thing and kind of let the chips fall where they may, which, I mean, obviously, like you said, I mean, you know, after September 11th, you know, we you know, there was a reason to do something, but man, at this point, it sure seems like it's gone. The pendulum has swung much too far.
Yeah.
To the wrong direction here.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's not bad.
Now that we've depressed.
Yeah, exactly. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how's the theater?
Now that everyone's stupid and.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have no idea how long we've been going, if we're even into what would normally be the final segment. Final segment's usually where I do a little bit things I find mildly irritating. Obviously, everything I've talked about today, I found mildly irritating. But here's just something from my own personal life that happened this week. So, and I have to kind of give a little bit of background. So, like last week, doing a little speaking gig, and just on my way in, kind of chatted with this guy. He mentioned, that he actually works in the same building as I do. I was like, oh, great, yeah. Talk, I don't know, half a minute or whatever on my way in. Do the speaking gig. Okay. Fast forward to this week. And by the way, I had never once seen this guy in the building. I just kind of took his word for it. Yeah, we work in the same building. Okay, great.
Sure.
This week, in the men's room, I'm done with what I'm doing. I'm standing there washing my hands at the sink. The stall door comes open, and out waltzes this guy.
Okay.
Pants about mid-thigh. He is literally still pulling his pants up as he's walking out. Now, I'm instantly already pissed off. Okay,
Yes.
Just not to put too fine a point on it. Okay, because like I said before, there are rules. Okay,
Right.
and they don't have to be written down. This is something you should know. Okay, we've talked on this show before about people that talk on their cell phones in a bathroom, and how I will react if you do. This guy opens the door to the stall, walks out, pants mid-thighs. He's like hiking them up. And proceeds to try to initiate a conversation with me as he is pulling his pants up, walking out of the stall. Now,
What?
I'm washing my hands. I see what's going on because of the reflection in the mirror. And I'm instantly trying to pretend that this person doesn't exist.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
No. You're like, oh, hey.
He's going for it.
Yeah. Hey, good to see you again. I saw you at that thing last week. Remember? We talked to them. I was like, yeah. It's not enough that both of us are already, pretending, sort of contributing to the same delusion, that neither one of us is aware of the fact that the entire room smells like a wildebeest got into a bad batch of mushrooms or something because of what you just did in that stall. That's not enough for you. No. You've got to come out pants mid-thigh and try to start talking to me. So now I have to pretend like I don't see like 2 boiled hams and a bag of flour that are your legs. And
Oh, man.
and we have spoken for a total of maybe 40 seconds
Ever. Yeah.
in our lives. If I had known you for 40 years, this wouldn't be okay. And if I had known you for 40 years, I would have probably felt comfortable to tell you,
Right.
get your back in the stall and get dressed before you come out here.
Right.
But I haven't known you for 40 years, so I don't feel comfortable going that route.
Uh-huh.
I've known you for 40 seconds. That's the extent of our conversation.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the extent of our conversation
Yes.
going forward. All right? Because you did this.
Right.
Okay, and you come in, oh, yeah, remember I saw you last week. I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And that was it.
that is where
That
it stopped.
is
Yeah.
it. Now I am drying my hands as quick as humanly possible and getting the heck out of Dodge.
Uh-huh.
Hey,
Wow.
it's just unfathomable to me that I even need to say, like, pull your pants up before you come out of the stall. Like, what?
It seems like that should be a elementary thing.
It's not like this is the one bathroom in the entire building, and like there's a line of people waiting to get into that stall, and so therefore you should get out of there as quickly as humanly possible.
Right.
I mean, what goes through a person's mind that makes them think it's okay to come out here in public still hiking my pants up after just,
Wow.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Were you raised by wolves?
It's
like, did nobody ever like? There's like an unwritten guy code. It's
Right.
barely acceptable to talk in a men's room at
Right.
all,
right.
even if I do know you, right? Because we're in here, everybody knows what's going on. It's like, hey, man, yeah, and that's pretty much it.
Exactly.
Okay,
It's already a little weird if
yeah,
you're having a
that's
full-on
about the
conversation.
extent of what dudes are comfortable with.
Yep.
Normal dudes,
Normal.
not this guy.
Not everyone out there is as normal as we'd like. That's the lesson here. Well, and the funny part to me is this wasn't. I could see it at maybe a truck stop in East Texas, like somewhere backwoods kind of deal. But this is in the Metroplex in some kind of hotel.
No, this was in my office building.
Oh, in your
where
office
this happened.
building.
Where I
Oh,
saw
okay.
him was where we had initially met was at a separate location, a speaking
Gotcha,
gig I was
okay.
doing. But then this was
So professional setting.
yes,
Right.
yes, or at least I thought it was. Apparently not. Apparently it's just savages, savages on the plane. That's where I work.
Man, that's pretty bad. That is pretty bad. Wow.
I just don't get people. I'm just. Is it me? Am I the only person who thinks that this is completely just wrong on many levels. Like,
Yeah.
or maybe it's just me
like...
that takes it personally. Maybe most people would think, yeah, that's a little off, but I'd let it go. Not this guy.
Yeah. You're taking that as a personal insult to your integrity as a human being.
It's not even that I'm taking it personally. It's that it's the little things. Okay? If you let the little things go, before you know it, you turn around and Western civilization is just in a shambles.
See? That's a decent point.
Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, Europe's lost. Europe's a lost cause.
Right.
America is the last bastion of Western civilization. Okay?
Yes.
That's it. We're the Alamo of the world when it comes to Western civ.
Uh-huh.
And therefore, we can't let little things like this go. Okay?
Yep.
At least that's what I think.
We've already let too many of them go.
Way too many.
And now we got to hold on to
See
every
also
little...
woke M&Ms.
Woke him. Exactly. We got to hold on to each every rung of civility that we can for dear life.
God, I just don't.
Wow. Yeah, that's a hard one to swallow right there.
And the thing is, here's probably what that guy's telling people after that little encounter. Mm-hmm. What a jerk that guy was. Like, I came out, I was just trying to say hi, and remind him that where we met, and he wanted nothing to do with me. I can't believe that guy. Who does he think he is? I'll tell you who I think I am. A civilized human being. That's who I am.
Right.
Who do you think you are? You walk out here with your pants around your knees. Come on, man.
That's oh yeah, there we go. We need a drop. We need a Biden drop. Insert the Biden. Come on, man.
I mean, it could be worse. If I could have quoted President Biden to him. Stupid son of a...
That's true.
Mr. Civility.
Yes.
Mr. Civility. Campaigning on returning dignity and unity to the United States. There's a news story we didn't hit in the top of the hour, but everybody knows about that one. So.
Man, yeah. No, you're right, though. You're right. Yeah. See, that's what you needed to return, uncivility for uncivility. Just
Yeah, I should have just looked at him and said, you know what, you remind me a lot of Steve Ducey, according to the president.
Yes.
Stupid son of a man.
Oh, man.
What kills me about that story is that once it came out, that Biden called to apologize to him and reportedly said, hey, it was nothing personal, pal. There's nothing more personal. It can't get more personal.
Right.
Calling you a stupid son of a... Like, it was nothing personal.
Yeah, what do you... I mean, what do you think is... Like, the definitions of words mean something. Like, the definition of what you did
Clearly
is a
not
personal
to them.
insult.
Clearly not to them.
I guess not.
No, you can just define a word to mean whatever you want it to mean.
No, that's a good point. Right? Yeah.
Like,
See, there you go.
Yeah, there's nothing personal about that. Depends on your definition of personal. And in my definition of personal, it doesn't mean that. What kills me about that is dude is sitting at a desk pretty much like this, with a microphone right in front of him.
Right.
As he says it. Mm-hmm. Thinking, oh yeah, this thing's not recording.
Yeah.
Nobody will ever hear this. I'll just say this under my breath into a microphone. What a stupid son of a...
Yeah, it wasn't even like an aside or under his breath at all. It was very much... It was the same volume level the entire press conference was.
Yeah. That was... I should have done that at the top of the show, because that probably was my favorite news story of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, he's just... Yeah.
Way too good. Man. Yeah.
So, I think we've done enough damage for today. Today's show is sponsored by Moe's Tavern. Fine establishment in Springfield, if you're ever in the area.
That it is.
You should check it out.
Mm-hmm. Big fan
owner,
of the beer.
proprietor. Mo is a good dude. Mm-hmm. So, we are officially back, and we'll be doing our best to be more consistent, as long as Stan's pathetic immune system cooperates.
That's the plan. That's the plan.
See you next time. It's the Snarky Parenthetical.